2 days before Halloween, and Halloween this year is a full moon and a blue moon, which is going to be pretty creepy. But we need something to repel the spirits, to keep them away from our house. What better than carving a jack-o'-lantern out of this pumpkin that we happen to have sitting on the front porch? Now we know that jack-o'-lanterns do keep away evil spirits, but one other thing they provide that's really good are some pumpkin seeds. And today I'm going to show you how to make some Screamin Pumpkin Seeds. So here are some of the tools that we're going to use to carve this pumpkin. And I gotta say, since pumpkin carving knives always seem to bend, I'm going to use this Kenmore steak knife. And I definitely recommend using a knife that's serrated to carve through that pumpkin, especially for one this size. This one's going to have some pretty thick walls on it. The first thing we're going to do is fill this bowl up with water. And when we pull all the pumpkin seeds and goop out of the pumpkin, we're going to drop them into this bowl. That's going to help separate the seeds from the goop. Okay, so when we make our cut, of course it's going to be at an angle so that the top will sit back on there and not fall down inside. Okay, you ready for this part? This is the good part right here. Ooh. Oh man, look at that. So now we got to reach down into this goop and pull those pumpkin seeds out and drop them into this water. Fortunately, we have a pumpkin scooper to help us get some of the goop out.
Yay.
And here we have the assistant, Alex. Reaching down in there, you're going right for the scoop, huh? Why don't you try pulling some seeds out first, like this? Look, just reach in there and just pull them out, and that's the fun part. Just drop them in the water there. There you go.
It's kind of important to get these seeds out of here because they're kind of so slimy.
Yeah, they slip right between your fingers.
Yeah.
But hopefully, soaking in this water will, like I said, clean some of that goop off. I don't know. This is highly experimental. Like I always say, I really have no idea what I'm doing. It's just point and shoot, see what happens.
Oh, look at the little spider.
Oh, yeah. A creature of Halloween, perhaps.
Yeah.
Good thing to have in a kitchen.
No.
All right, so it looks like we got most of the seeds out of the pumpkin, and they're soaking in this water. We're going to let them soak there for a couple minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to boil a pot of water on the stove. And in this pot, I'm going to mix some garlic salt. And this is going to be another method. When I boil the seeds, it's going to do a couple things. It's going to add a little flavoring to the seeds. It's going to boil them in this garlic salt mixture, which is going to add a little flavor. And it's also, hopefully, going to free up some more of the goop that may still be attached to the seeds. Meanwhile, as we're waiting for the water to boil, Alex is going to draw the face on the pumpkin. So what kind of face are we going for here, Alex?
I don't know, because I don't really want to go for a scary kind of look, but I don't want to go for like a friendly look. So I think I'm going to do I think I'm going to go with friendly.
Okay, let's see that friendly face. What is your tool that you're using there?
A Sharpie, because some other markers, they won't stay on as much as a Sharpie will. That's why you always want to use a Sharpie when you're doing a pumpkin.
Right, okay, that sounds good to me. All right, let's draw it.
Now, I'm not the best drawer, but I'm going to try.
That's okay, you got a clean slate there. Now, don't make it too complicated because I got to cut it out with this big steak knife.
Okay.
Although we do have some of these tools right here. And these are some more precision saws and other little things that I haven't really had much experience using before. But they are here. So
there's one eye.
All right. I like the classic triangle eyes.
Yeah.
That's always good. I mean, that seemed to keep ghosts away in years past.
Now, we're going for a little upside down nose. Maybe like that.
All right.
And
now the smiley face.
It's hard to draw on pumpkins.
It is. It's gonna even be harder to carve it. But looks good to me.
Thank you.
I guess this is why they have precision tools. I don't know. Like I said, they always seem to bend on me though.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one block. Want to make sure your fingers aren't behind there too when you're cutting. That'd be a bad idea. Let's take a little bit more off the bottom of this one here. Didn't quite get it good enough. There we go. Okay. And the nose. Looks like he's got some snot coming out of his
Yeah, that's what I
nose.
was gonna say.
All right, perhaps a little bit of a crooked smile, but by no fault of the artist. It's more so on the carver. All right, and Alex is scooping out a little more of the goop so that it doesn't catch on fire when we put the candle in there.
Yep, you don't want that.
Meanwhile, our water has come to a boil. We're going to drop the seeds in here. All right, so in this point, I'm going to try to get as much of this goop off here as I can. As best I can. And it comes off a little easier now that it's been soaking. Whoops.
That's okay. Because it will most likely boil away. Right?
Maybe. We'll see. We're going to drain the seeds too. And then any goop that's still left on them after we drain them, we'll have to get it off by hand or bake it with them. Sometimes a little goop is like added flavor. A little pumpkin flavor.
Yep.
It's like pumpkin spice, pumpkin seeds maybe.
Yeah, that would be actually good.
Yeah, it would.
You can already see the water bubbles are looking kind of orangey.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Yeah.
Now we got our seeds boiling. Meanwhile, I'm going to preheat the oven to 325. I'm going to use a strainer that's a screen, because if I use the regular one, it could go down between the cracks. Hopefully this works. Okay, now this strainer is a little small, but that pumpkin did not produce quite as many pumpkin seeds as we would have expected for a pumpkin that size.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, this strainer is like just big enough to fit all those pumpkin seeds.
Look at all them yummy pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, look at that. Now at this point, ooh, it's very hot, so don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay? At this point, I'm going to dump them into this bowl. All right? I'm just going to forget about that goop that's on there. You should probably take it off, but I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do, though, in this bowl, I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil and kind of toss it around here with the seeds so that they get covered in olive oil.
I'll definitely be eating this.
So I'm going to use a fork to mix them around since they're so hot. Don't reach in there like I did. That's not a good idea. You get burned. I may use this opportunity to get this last piece of goop out here, though. Hot. Hot. All right. Good. So I got them all oiled up. Now it's time to put them out on our pan. So a lot of people will tell you to use parchment paper. I'm not going to do that because I like to cook on cast iron. So I'm going to use this cast iron pizza pan, and I'm just going to dump the seeds directly onto this pan. The one thing I do want to do is I want to spread them out into a nice thin layer because I want to make sure that the seasoning reaches all of the seeds.
Like from a pizza?
Yeah, picture like you would spread out a pizza. Okay. Now before we put these seeds in the oven, I gotta make them scream. So you may be wondering, Jeff, what are you going to season these pumpkin seeds with? People probably typically use salt, but I'm going to use something a little different. I'm going to use a little more garlic salt. I'm going to use some chili powder. I'm going to use some cayenne red pepper. And a little bit of smoked paprika to kind of give it that smoked flavor, with another little extra kick.
It almost looks like a pizza with all those seasonings on it.
It does. Hopefully it doesn't taste like a pizza. But I'm going to put that in there for about 25 minutes. I'm going to kind of eyeball it. I'm going to look when the seeds are to the desired texture where I want them to be crispy. I'm going to take them out and we're going to give them a try. See if they really do have the scream.
So this is the complete look of the pumpkin.
This is it. And while the seeds are cooking, it's very important to light the pumpkin because we don't want any ghosts coming and stealing our pumpkin seeds. Go ahead and put the lid on. There we have it. We're ready for Halloween. The pumpkin seeds just came out of the oven, and I ended up leaving them in there for about 35 minutes just because I like them to be a little more crispy than traditionally, I guess. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Screamin Pumpkin Seeds. And you can hear the crunch. They're just the right texture, just the right amount of spice. So if you kind of gauge what I did when I put the spices on there, it's not overwhelming. I don't like things that are too salty. I like to taste the natural flavor of the food, and I like them to taste like they got a little bit of seasoning on them. And that's how these pumpkin seeds taste. A little bit of a kick, but nothing too serious. I think this is something that the whole family could enjoy.